Hey guys, welcome back to the series of cryptography algorithm implementation. Guys, in this video I will be showing you implementation of rail fence technique. So guys, before starting implementation, let me quickly explain you what is rail fence. So guys, now here let me explain you what is this rail fence techniques. So guys, here we have rails. So rails are nothing but it is going to decide number of rows in your rail fence technique. So actually why the name rail fence? Because we will be having structure of fence. So you have seen fence in building and near garden for protecting them. We have fence. Similarly here also we will be putting our character in this zigzag pattern. Hence the name is rail fence. So this number of rails is going to decide what number of rows in my this particular algorithm, and the length of my plain text is going to decide number of column. So here you can see right now we have total 10 as the length of this hello world, and 2 is nothing but number of rails or number of rows. So what actually you have to do, you have to quickly draw one grid where you will be having row 1 and row 2. Why only row 1 and row 2? Because we have 2 rails, and then you need to draw total 10 column. Why 10 column? Because the length of my plain text is 10. So here I'm just drawing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, and then we need to divide it for rows. Now what we have to do, we have to put the character in zigzag order. So that means the first character will go over here, next character will go over here, next character will go over here, then next this position here. So you can see we are putting the character at some of the zigzag pattern. And so now how to put the character, you have to take the first character and you have to write over here. So let me change my color. So here I will be writing H, and then my next character is E. So here I am going to put E. Next is L, and then again we have L, and then I am having O, and then I am having here again W. So here I will be putting W, and then next character we have as O, and then R, then L, and then D. Fine. So if you see H L O O L, here H L, then O, then O, then L. If you see, these are the character which are at even position. So 0 1 2, then 4, then 5 6, and then 8. So I can say in my row number 1 I'm having all the character which are at even position. Okay, and now if you see here, E is at odd position, that is 1, and then L is at odd position, that is 3. Then again W is at 5th position. Okay, then R is at 7th position, and next character we have as sorry, I made mistake. E is at first position. Then next L we have as 3rd position. Then we have O is at 5th position. Okay, O is at 5th position. Next we have R, which is at 7th position, and then next we have as 9th position. Okay, so since we have started from 0, so it will go up to 9. So in row number 2 I have all the character in odd position. So 1 3 5 7 and 9. So this is actual my logic. Okay, so this logic I will be using for implementing my cipher text. Okay, so I will be reading all the character which are at even position and all the character which are at odd position. So character which are at even position I will be placing them in the first row, and character which are at odd position I will be placing in the next row. So what will be my cipher text? My cipher text is going to be what? You need to read row 1 and row 2. So here continuous row 1 and row 2 you have to read. So H L O L, and then next we have E L W R D. Okay, R, and then finally D. So this is going to be my cipher text. So let me just scroll down and show you the process how actually I have done. So here you can see we have put the character in zigzag. So here guys you can see we are getting fence, right? So here if we see we are getting fence, and hence the name is rail fence. So now here you can see I have put character in zigzag, and then we are reading row by row. So this is my final cipher text. Okay, so now in implementation we will will be using this concept. So first row we will be having character at even position, and second row we will be having character at odd position. Okay. So now let me explain you decryption part. So guys, for decryption, first we will be counting how many characters are there, and then we will be trying to find out midpoint. Okay, and then from 0 to midpoint I will be having what? The first row, and from midpoint to the last I will be having my second row. Guys, we have arranged our cipher text in what? Row number 1 and row number 2. So row number 1 and row number 2. Row number 1 I will be reading from I will be having character from 0 to mid, and mid to last will be row number 2. So what I will do, I will write a logic for calculating midpoint. So what will be the logic for calculating midpoint? Whatever is the length of my character, divide by 2. But here it is going to create problem for odd length text. So if I have a length which are odd, okay, if I have a plain text which are odd in length, for example HELLO, here the length is odd. So if I do 5 divided by 2, I am going to get 2.5. So this midpoint calculation is not coming properly because I cannot have 0.5 character. I can have 2, 0 to 2 or 0 to 3. So hence guys, for this I am going to write one more logic. Here I am going to add 1 to it. So length plus 1. So what is the length of my hello? 5. If I add 1 to it, I am going to get what? 6. So 6 divided by 2. So I will be having 3. So in my first row, I will be having 3 character while reading, and in my next I will be having next 2 character. Okay. So this way we will be reading. So guys, let me show why I am adding 1 to my calculation of midpoint. So here for odd length cipher text, we will be adding 1. Dividing an odd length by 2 would round down. Okay, so here is the example. An example, my cipher text length is 5, and if I add 1 to it, I am going to get 6 divided by 2, that is 3. So midpoint is what? 3. So row number 1 will be having 3 character, and row number 2 will be having 2 character. So that means the split is fair enough. Now if I'm having 6 as my length, then what will happen? 6 plus 1, 7 divided by 2. Again I will be getting integer value, so 3 I will be getting. So if I split, I will be having what? 3 character in the first row and 3 character in the last row. So again my split is done properly. So hence I'm adding 1 to it. So that's all guys. So what you have to do, you have to just calculate midpoint, and then from midpoint you have to find out the positions like even position and odd position, and go on reading. So alternate character from rail 1 and rail 2 we will be reading. So here I will read 1 character from here, 1 character from here, then 1 character from here, 1 character from here. The important point over here is what? Midpoint calculation, because we have to decide in cipher text where is my midpoint, so that I can divide into 2 rails. Okay, so now we will be going for implementation of this. So here I have just started my VS Code, and quickly guys I am going to create one class here. Okay, and now here I am going to write class, and this is the class, and then under this I am going to write public static void main. Now here I am going to take input from user. So I will be creating object of scanner. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner, and here I am going to write system.in. Fine. Now then next part I will be doing what? I am going to prompt user for entering some input. So plain text user is going to enter, and that plain text I will be reading through this scanner object. So let me quickly do that. So here first I will import this scanner, and here guys now I am going to write sout and enter plain text. Okay, so whatever input user is going to enter, that I'm going to store in a variable pt. So sc dot next line. Okay, so after reading this, next I will be calling encrypt and decrypt method. That is a user defined method I will be making. So here I am making one variable string cipher text, and I am calling method encrypt. So in this encrypt method I will be passing my plain text. Okay, so pt I am passing, and then I will be calling another method decrypt. Decryption, we require cipher text as parameter, so that parameter I have passed. And then guys, after that I will be printing, but before that it's showing me error, so let's quickly add this method. So create the method and create decryption method also, decrypt method also. So we are going to quickly add this method, and we will delete this comment part and throw part from here. Fine. Okay, now whatever is the cipher text and decrypted text, we will be printing that. So s out, here I'm going to print cipher text is equal to, and I'm going to print my cipher text variable. And then again I'm going to write s out, and here I will be writing what, decrypted text. So here is my message, decrypted text is equal to, and my variable name. Okay, and finally we will be closing this sc, so sc dot close. Okay, so my main method implementation is done. Now let's write encrypt and decrypt method. So as I told you, for encryption, in my first row I will be having all the character which are at even position. In my second row I will be having all the character which are at odd position. So quickly guys, here first of all I'm going to create one string variable, string ct is equal to one empty variable I'm creating of type string, and then here I'm going to run for loop for int I equal to 0 semicolon I less than whatever is my plain text, its length. It's here I'm writing I plus equal to 2 because I want to have all the even position character in my first row. So here I equal to 0, I'm incrementing it by 2, so every time I will be having I as even value. So what I will do, I will add the character which I am reading from my plain text into this cipher text variable. So ct is equal to plain text dot char at I, so it will read all the character at what, even position. And then here now next what I'm going to do, this is the code for row number 1. And similarly I've just copied and I'm pasting here. I'm going to start from 1 and then I will be incrementing by 2. So every time it will be what, odd length. So 1, then 3, then 5, and so on. And I'm just adding that to my cipher variable. So you can see all the character from even position has been read and it has been appended to your cipher text variable. And after that all the odd position length has been added to my cipher text variable. And after this guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply return my cipher text. So here I'm going to write return ct. Okay, this code is done, encryption code is done. Now I will be moving to decryption code. So here for decryption, first of all I'm going to create one string variable, string decrypted string. Okay, and here I'm making it blank, and then I'm going to write logic for calculating midpoint. So int mid is equal to the length of the cipher text. So ct or cipher text dot length, and I will be adding 1 to it. I hope you understood why I am adding 1 to it, because whenever we have odd length it is going to create a problem. And then after this I am going to read the row number 1 character. Row number 1 we have even index character. So here I am going to create one variable string row 1, and in this I am going to use method substring. So substring a cipher text dot substring, it will start from 0 and it will go up to mid. Okay, and then I'm creating another variable, that is string row number 2, and from what position I will be starting, I will be starting from midpoint to the end of the string. So here mid, and if I don't pass any second parameter, it will go up to the end of the string. So now in my row number I will be having all the character from 0 to midpoint, and in my row number 2 I will be having all the character from midpoint to the end. Now what I have to do, I have to read one character from row 1 and row 2 alternately we have to read. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a few more variable, int I equal to 0 comma j equal to 0, and then here I'm running one for loop. So for int k equal to 0, this loop I am writing to check the even position and odd position, and k is less than cipher text dot length, and then I will be adding 1 to it, so k plus plus, and then here is my logic of checking whether the positions are even or odd. So here I'm writing if k %2 equal to 0, that mean what? Even position. So if it is even position, so I'm going to read the character. So in my decrypted string, what I'm doing, I'm just concatenating the character from the row 1. Okay, so row 1, because in row 1 we have value from even position. So caret and then I, and then I will be incrementing I, so I plus plus. And now if it is not even position, I will be writing else part. Okay, so here in my else I will be reading the character from odd position, so decrypted string plus. So once I will be having even, next time I will be having odd. Now here in my this decrypted string variable, I will be taking character from row 2, so row 2 dot caret, then here I'm going to write j. Okay, and then I will be incrementing this j also. So why I have taken I and j variable, because for position I required that variable, so I just wrote this. And finally guys, I will be returning this decrypted string. So here I am going to write return and then decrypted string. Okay, so this code is done. Now let's run the code. So here guys, now I'm entering text as hello world, and you can see we have got this output, and here it is returning my text back. Okay, that means the code is working perfectly. One more time we can try. Let's run it again. Now here I'm going to write my name, so Sunita Rai. So you can see it's giving me Sunita Rai. So how you will verify whether output is correct or not? So whatever plain text you are entering, cipher text you will be getting anything based on your algorithm, and then decrypted text you should get same as your original text. So that means your algorithm is working correctly. So here you can see it has read S, after that N, and then after that T, and then after that A, and then after that we have what? U, I. So these are the character from even and odd position. Okay, so I hope guys you have understood how to implement rail fence technique. So guys, if my video has really helped you, don't forget to hit on like button. If you have any query, you can ask in comment box, or you can send me on IG, but before that you need to follow me. And guys, if you really like my video, please share with your friends. And guys, very important for me is your subscription. If you are new to channel, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit bell icon to receive notifications from my channel. Guys, I'm there on different social media. You can follow me or you can join me. All my social media link is in a description box. You can just check it out that guys. So bye guys, that's all for today's video. See you in next video. Till that, bye bye, take care, keep watching and keep learning guys.